And now we need to make the step from coding flowcharts and Excel statements to actually coding pseudocode, if you will, that will then lead us into coding for programs. Let's take the free miles concept first. Remember that the flowchart looked like this. I think I'm going to actually do it two different ways. Remember there were four. We have an input statement. I will avoid that in the actual code because we don't know what the command for that is. But we will do the selection, the if statement. So this is the flowchart we're going to code. We start with the condition itself. Notice that we don't have the word if in the flowchart. We look at the diamond shape and say, okay, that's an if. So then we code if miles greater than 100, then we go over and do the action that's on the true side first. If there were multiple boxes on that line there, we would just code them one after another. Notice how adjusted miles equals miles minus 100 is indented over to the right, just as it is indented in the picture. We then follow the line through and come to the little arrow at the end, right there. And we realize we're done with the true side, so we're going to have to do the false side. False is indicated with the word else. Then we code the statement that's there, adjusted miles equals 0. I'd like to just spend a moment on these. I know you're supposed to be reading about these in the Farrell book and in the Logic Structures handout, but just to repeat, movement for each of these two things with the equal sign in it is from right to left. In other words, whatever is on the right side of the equal sign will be put into whatever's on the left side. So miles minus 100, if miles was 285, then 285 minus 100 is 185. 185 is going to go in ADJ miles, adjusted miles. Otherwise, we're going to put a 0 in adjusted miles. If you have trouble getting used to that, just keep telling yourself it goes from right to left. Draw an arrow in your mind. This is critical that you understand this and get used to it. We follow the false side through and then we run into the true side and we indicate that we have finished it with an end if. The next example, it's very similar except we did the opposite kind of condition. If miles less than 100, okay, now visualize in your mind where you think the next line of code is going to go and what it's going to be. Indent it over. Adjusted miles equals 0. Put a 0 in adjusted miles. We're done with the true side. We're going to have to do the false, and that's the word else. We'll do the action that's on the false side. ADJ miles equals miles minus 100. Put miles minus 100 into ADJ miles. We continue down. We run into the end of the structure, and so we have to have an end if. The next topic that could be covered when dealing with conditions would be either the compound condition or the nested if, but these are more complex and so we will use these for a later time. Instead, go view the next topic, which does text comparisons.